Hello and welcome to Trading 5 Talents. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a great screener that I found for the wheel strategy. That screener is called OptionSellerROI. But before we begin, I just want to say I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This content is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Any trades I mention are not trade recommendations, but either an example trade or a past trade that I've made. So please don't enter into any trades that you may see here. Now let's get into this video. In one of my previous videos, I talked about a personal strategy that I use for selecting stocks to trade on the wheel strategy. And just in summary, I looked for three things that I liked regarding selecting a stock for the wheel strategy. I need to like the stock and sector. I need to like the premiums for those options that I'm selling, and I need to like the conditions of that particular option. I used two sources. I used Robinhood's top 100 list to look for stocks, as well as barchart.com, and I looked at their highest implied volatility list. And again, those were just starting points for me to do some more research into the stock and sector, to the premiums and the conditions. Then I compiled everything into a single list, and I maintained that watch list on Robinhood, and I'm able to reuse a lot of the same stocks over and over with the wheel strategy. However, in this video, what I would like to do is I would like to actually replace barchart.com and their highest IV list with this new resource that I found. So what is that resource? It is called OptionSellerROI.com. Now, this isn't the website. This is just a screenshot of the developer on Twitter. And I recently joined Twitter this past month, and I was able to find this particular trader. And you can see from the bio, it says that this person is a programmer who dabbles in selling options and created OptionSellerROI.com to make finding the best ROI for selling options easier. Tweets are not trading advice. So I connected with OptionSeller on Twitter and looked at the website that this person had developed, and it's really, really cool. It's going to be so helpful in looking for stocks to sell options on. So let's take a look at what this website can do. Okay, we are here at OptionSellerROI.com, and I'll leave a link to this website down in the description, as well as the Twitter page for the developer. So if you find this particular website helpful as you select stocks for the wheel strategy, then please, I encourage you to follow this developer, follow this trader, as well as if you find it very helpful, you can also become a Patreon member for this particular site and help keep this site free, because that is the intention of the developer, to keep the site free. And so let's look at what this site can do. So this is the default page. You can see there are cash secured puts and there are covered calls as two of the main headings. And again, those are the two types of options that we are selling using the wheel strategy: cash secured puts and covered calls. You can also search for a particular symbol if you're just interested in that. And then of course you've got some information about the site and how and why it was built. But the default page will just start right here, cash secured puts. And underneath this heading, you've got two different headings: best overall ROI and then best ROI per day. So I like to just start right here at the default page, the cash secured put, best overall ROI. Now, what you can then do is you can look at three different stock lists. So right now it's defaulted to high IV stocks, and this is similar to what barchart.com was offering. But the reason I like this site better is because you've got a lot more flexibility, and it's really tuned into what we'd be looking at as option sellers for the wheel strategy. So we can look at the high IV stocks. We can also look at Wall Street Bets most mentioned. So if you're into the meme stocks that are usually mentioned on the subreddit Wall Street Bets, this list is for you. And then I also really like this option down here, which is a custom list. If you click on it, you can enter up to three symbols or three tickers of your choosing if you just want to look at the metrics for those three stocks. So let's just go back to the high IV stocks and see what we're looking at here. So moneyness, you enter a range here. It defaults from 5% to 25%, and this is the percent moneyness that the option is in. So for example, we'll just use this first one, AMC. You can see that the current share price is $40.01. And the strike price that's being listed here is a $38 strike price. So $38 strike, $40.01 share price. You can see that that strike is 5.02% distance from the underlying share price. And so that's what this would be, this 5%. If we up this to 6%, this particular line would actually disappear because it's no longer in that range that you're selecting. And so we can make this range whatever we want to. So if these numbers are positive, the moneyness from, the moneyness to, we're going to be seeing, or we're going to be viewing out of the money options. If we want to look at in the money options, we would make this a negative number. And this is actually up here. Use a negative moneyness from to look at in the money options. But because we're selling cash secured puts, we are looking at out of the money option. So this would be a positive value. All right, the next thing that you would enter after the moneyness is the minimum open interest, or OI. So open interest is basically a metric that just tells the trader how many contracts are open at that particular time. So the more contracts that are open, obviously there's a lot more interest in those particular options. So something that has a high value is going to be a little bit more liquid, or potentially a lot more liquid, able to get in and out of those trades faster than something with a low OI, or low open interest. It's defaulted at 100, and I just like to keep it at the default value. And then the days till expiration, the minimum and the maximum range. And the way that I trade the wheel strategy is anywhere from 0 to 14 or 21 days till expiration. So we can enter that here. We can just put 14 days, and then we just refresh the list by pushing the search button. All right, and you can see that you have all of your results here that fit your particular criteria. We can sort by any of these headers. Here, let's just sort by symbol. All right, let's look at this one down here, this BB, only because I do have positions in BlackBerry right now. So let's just look at this. As an example, you can see that it expires on 10/8/21, so there's 13 days until expiration. It's showing a 9.5 strike price. Now, currently the shares are $10.38 per share, and so $9.50 strike price means that it's 8.47% away from the underlying share price. Now the website is listing this 9.5 strike put, and again, we know these are puts because that's the page that we're on. We're on the cash secured put page, and we're going to be receiving 19 cents per share, or $19 per contract. And if you wanted to calculate the return on investment, you would take $19 divided by the $950 of collateral that you would have to put up for this trade, and you could see that the return on investment is 2%. Divide that by 13 days until expiration, and you get 0.1538% ROI per day. So some other things that you can see here, you can see your break even. You can also see the open interest. So there's a lot of open interest on this particular contract. We can see two Greeks. We can see the delta, and we can also see the theta values. If you want more information about Greeks, then there's a link in the video description talking about option Greeks. So this would seem to fit our criteria of what I typically do here at Trading 5 Talents. When I sell cash secured puts, we're looking for a return of 2% or greater, which this has. We also are looking for a delta of a negative 0.3 or greater, which this has. And we also want to make sure that the days until expiration are anywhere from 0 to 14 or 0 to 21 days. And again, that is what we have. So this would be something that I would consider entering into. But again, just like barchart.com, anything that comes up on this site is not a trade recommendation. And the developer specifically mentions that. It's not a trade recommendation. This is just a list for further research and further investigation if you will want to take this trade based on the risk profile. All right, so the other thing that I wanted to go over were these two links right here. So this first link is, when you click on it, it pops up a chart of the ticker symbol. So this is BB. This is just a candlestick chart, And you've got technical indicators already here. You've got some volume, and you've also got your MACD. There are several more technical indicators you can use and overlay on your chart if you want them, which is one of the reasons why I like this site so much better than bar chart, because it seems like it's tailor-made for the wheel strategy and provides quick access to technical indicators if you want them. So all these technical indicators with drawing tools, with different chart time frames, you can play around if you want, but it's just nice to be able to have this on the website. All right, this other one over here is takes you to another website called OptionStrat.com, and that would look like this. So a review of OptionStrat and a tutorial on OptionStrat is beyond the scope of this video. I just wanted to show you what it looks like. It just opens up in a new tab, and you can see some of the break-evens and the profits and losses for your particular option. So let's go back to OptionSellerROI.com. Okay, and so that is what this list is showing here, and all of the metrics that are associated with this particular put here on BB. And you can see that there are several options that fit the particular criteria that were entered in. So we can also just look at, if we wanted to look at the meme stocks on Wall Street Bets, you can see those here as well, as long as they're fitting this particular criteria that we've entered in. These are only starting points. Again, these are not trade recommendations. They are only starting points for further investigation and due diligence to see if the risk profile matches your risk profile as a trader. All right, one of the things that I mentioned that I did really like about this website is this custom list. So for example, I like these stocks. I like Riot right now, I like BlackBerry, and I like Plug Power. So I type in those, comma, separated, and I put in my metrics or my criteria, and those all look good to me, so I just push the search button, and then these are the plays that fit that criteria. Now, we looked at this one already, BlackBerry. You can see Plug Power, it's listing the $25 strike price. It's currently trading at $26.97. The delta is negative 0.3 or greater, so that is a greater than 70% chance of profit. So this would be a great candidate. It expires in 13 days, and we're going to be making just under 2%. So maybe I might pass on this one. So let's look down here on Riot. You can see that almost 4% return, and there is just under 70% chance of profit. So the delta is negative 0.31, so that's translates roughly into about 69% chance of profit. And so again, this might be a consideration. So we would have to actually take a look at this when the options market opens on Monday morning. So the markets are closed right now, so this data isn't entirely accurate right now because the markets are closed. But once the market opens, all of the factors that go into options pricing changes. So we would want to look at this when the market opens. But overall, this is a great tool to look for stocks that you want to trade the wheel on. If you've got cash and you want to do a cash secured put, come here. If you want to do covered calls, you click on the covered calls section, and you can do the same thing. Also, I want to mention that if there's only one stock that you're interested in trading, you can just go to the symbol search over here and then type in the particular stock that you're interested in, whether it's a put or a call, the moneyness, and all these other metrics. Then you click on search, and then it just lists all of the contracts that fit that criteria. So again, I really enjoy this site. This is definitely going to be one of my go-to sites when I look for stocks to sell the wheel on. So if you want to support the site, there's a link over here to become a Patreon member, and also consider following Option Seller on Twitter, and the handle is @OptionSellerROI, and the link to the website is there. So speaking of Twitter, I did join Twitter this month, and if you'd like to follow me, the handle is @Trading5Talents. So you can follow me. I thought that this might be a better way to connect with other traders, maybe a little bit faster form of communication with questions. I'm not putting out any type of trade recommendations, so I don't want you to follow anything that I'm doing. You have to do your own due diligence, but I'll post new videos here as well, answer any questions that you may have. So if you do have any questions, either leave a comment down below or head on over to Twitter and ask me there, and I'll answer it as quickly as possible. In the meantime, if you want to learn more about the wheel strategy and view my progress on how I use it for lifestyle trading, click on the subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you can catch all the updates. Until next time, trade wisely and take care.